Hi everyone, Aristotel Dascal here from GoStartup.io. In today's video, I want to talk to you about something that is very familiar to pretty much everybody from the startup world. And that is MVP, minimum viable product. That most people think as the MVP is something like this. Man, I've got this amazing app idea and I'm just going to build it. Okay. I mean, you may go out there, talk to customers, maybe even do some wireframes, but the thing is this, they are saying, we had all these discussions and we decided these are the features that need to be in our MVP, and then just go ahead and build it. And they call it, this is the MVP. We have built the MVP. So now we go to the customer with it. Now, the big shift that I want you guys to see here is that an MVP, it's not something that you just decide on a list of features, you build it and there you are, there's an MVP. No. Well, why is that? It's because even in the definition, it says minimum viable product. What does that mean? It means that although you may come up with a set of features that you think that are a minimum viable product, although before starting developing, potential prospects, customers, friends, family, and everybody who loves you or not is telling you, yeah, that's exactly what we need. You come with that list and you build it in. It may prove that it's not really useful for the person that is using it. Now, let me ask you a question. If you built this thing and people are not using it and people are not getting value out of it, can you call it a minimum viable product? No, because it's in the definition. As long as it doesn't bring value, it's not a minimum viable product. So what does that mean? That means that the MVP is just a finality that is reached at a point in the stage of building your product. So you are trying to reach the MVP. You are building, let's call it MVP version 0.1 or whatever. It's not the MVP until it provides value. You have reached the MVP not when you build these features that you initially say that you're going to build, but you have reached the MVP at the point where your potential customers, users are getting value. Not at the point where you're making money, not at the point where you even know exactly all your sales channels, not at the point when you know all your pricing. No, at the point where users are getting value. That's why you need to focus on that. That's why keep it small, keep it simple. So if you don't build it and you just have to reach it at a point, so how do you reach it? Well, it's the standard, pretty much widely known, but maybe not by everybody, cycle of build, measure, and learn. What does that mean? That means that you build a little feature that you know that it needs to be in. For example, when you do a sign up, you put just 2 fields in it, right? And then you add a feature that is take a picture and save it in your account for whatever photography, taking pictures or something like that, right? And then you put it out there, and if people are using it, if people are liking it, if you see that there's some traction and people are happy and they get value out of it, you're going to measure that. If you see that it's not really getting traction and actually you're getting feedback, you learn from that feedback and then you continue. And then you're going to say, well, it doesn't make any sense for us to build this feature if we don't put a limit on the size. Like, it doesn't make sense. The app is going to crap out, the storage is going to blow up, whatever's going to happen. And you learn from it. You cannot say that you've built your MVP if it doesn't bring value. If people cannot even upload it in the way that they intended to use such a solution for their problem, right? So then you learn from that and you build another feature or you tweak that feature, okay? Up to the point, you do this up to the point where the customer gets some value in it. Now, at that point, you can say, yes, I have reached my MVP. Why? Because now it provides a minimum value for customers to use it. Now, there's another secret that I didn't even plan to put in this video, but I'm going to just whisper it out. You can treat even a feature in your existing big product as an MVP in the beginning. Any new major features, functionality, let's say that Airbnb is adding experiences, right, to the hotels, right? They are gonna, and they have put it out as an MVP initially, something very small, something, you know, unpolished in the beginning, but they have tested it out, put it out to a limited number of users until they have reached the MVP, until that they have seen that there are people that get value. So again, let's summarize. It's not when you're making money. It's not when you have a certain set of features that you or your grandma thinks that are good to have. It's when your customer are getting any level of value, significant, right? Something that really makes their life a little bit easier. That is what the MVP is. It's not an initial feature that you just built. It's something that you reach after a few iterations. Yes, even the MVP is actually done at the end of the cycles of build, measure, learn. It doesn't have to take you years. It can just take you weeks. You can just iterate based on how many users are out there to actually use your app or what you're planning to do. You can iterate even daily, even weekly on it. Depends how many users are going to use, and give you feedback in order for you to know that they are getting value. If you are planning to build a new amazing feature and you want to take this approach, or if you are just starting a brand new product and you want to make sure you're not wasting money on building something that users are not going to like, or they're not going to actually need, or they're not going to get value, feel free to book a call with me. You're going to see a link under this video. We can jump on a call and see if there's a fit, see if there's something I can help you with, and we're going to tell you how that looks like. Okay? Don't waste money. Build, measure, learn. See you guys later. Aristotle here from GoStartup.io. Bye-bye.